Hi, Jediah again. I am also known as Shirley Wade and the Tigers Only and Alliance War. And On Everything I Love is the organizations that I have for Black judges that are against all the injustice that I've been through. You know, Megan Thomas is the one that put me through all of this. And it was an unjust cause. I have clients and people that need for me to help them with with all sorts of things, and there are so much that they put me through, having me arrested for no reason at all, and after they had me, after they took me through that, they had the audacity to put me in programs, and they put me in an agape program first, and I was in an agape program for literally 8 months. And, you don't put a woman of my caliber in a agape program. Agape program is a program for, it's a rehab center. As I stated before, for Tigers Only and Alliance War, we have, I have a Say No to Drugs program, drugs and alcohol and things like that, for teenagers and and people that you basically are against drinking and driving and things like that. So, but they had me in these programs for 8 months. Then, after they had me in the agape program, they arrested me again for no reason at all. Each time I was arrested, they told me that I was trespassing, which I was not. I had every right to be where I was, and everyone knows that. And then they put me in MD-FACT in Jackson Hospital. And then they put me in agape program again for another 8 months. And before they put me in agape, they will always put me, they put me in MD-FACT and made me stay there in Jackson Hospital. I was forced to go to this rehab, and never done drugs a day in my life. Don't drink alcohol. I have a track record with this, not an alcoholic or anything. And they after this, they put me in a housing program from Agape. And they put me in a jail diversion program, and I had to be in a jail diversion program for a full year. I finished it for a whole year. All these programs I finished for a whole year, and I had to do these programs, so they say, or I will be arrested and put back, in these unlawful arrests, and so they were literally forcing me to do this, and then by what law, because It's really it was unlawful. And then also, um, it was enough for them to have me in agape twice, 8 months each time, and in a jail diversion program for a year. They put me in the fellowship house program and the clubhouse program, and I've been in that program for a full year. And they they told me that I could not have, they first told me that I could not have my own apartment, that I had to be in their housing and situation, a group home, and I was just livid, that's past pissed, because I had no, I'm a single mom, and everyone knows that, I'm basically the best mom in my family. Don't do drugs, don't drink, don't smoke, a Christian woman, a counselor for abused children, and it just makes no sense for them to, it made no sense at all for them to put me through all this. So, they put me through a housing program first with a lady that the lady that was over the housing program was from Africa. And I was in there, and they told me that I only had to be there for 6 months, and then I could move out and get my own place. Well, I stayed there for 6 months, and then after that, I left, and I went to Oral Roberts University, where I'm a former student there, and and I also have ministry there, and and they arrested me off the campus and told me that I was trespassing, and you can see it in my other previous videos where I discussed that, and so that was another unlawful arrest, and after I was arrested, I came back to St. Louis, and where they basically took me through another unlawful arrest in St. Louis, and then made me come here back to Florida, and I was in corrections again in Florida, here in Miami, and then they, basically took me through this again, having me go through all these programs again, and and the sad thing about this is, after I moved out of the house where the lady was from Africa, and was here, I complied with the program and things like that, because they told me that, basically I would go to jail, which, where do they do that at? Tell you that you can't, that you have to move in a group home at that, and then so they put me in another group home, but before that, they made me stay out in South Miami with the Rileys, an old couple that stayed in the country, in the boonies, And they basically told me that I could not leave these housing programs, without telling the judge, and things like that. So I complied, and I told them, okay, I have to move or whatever. So I basically don't like staying. I'm a city girl. So I don't understand why, they would take somebody like me and tell me that, I have to be forced to stay, with group homes and things like that. So they put me, after I was with them, stay with them, they put me in another housing program, and this housing program, and they knew that I was looking for a church member of mine from my church to stay with, because they actually told me that I could do that. But before I could even get in touch with them, they forced me to go into another group home, and so that's when they put me in a group home with the women who was doing drugs and doing witchcraft and things like that, and a lady they call Leslie, who was said that she had shot somebody because whatever, and so, and I told them, you don't put me with murderers and people that, have shot somebody, she said that she shot the person in the leg, and things like that, and I said, well, people, that shoot people, stuff like that, they could have a hit out on them, and you don't have me staying with them, and so, anyway, so, I had to leave because, they were, Leslie was very, ignorant and caused a lot of drama. And, one day she was just walking up on me and all that kind of stuff. And, I am not the one, to take abuse from anybody. And so, anyway, I did put her in a place, or whatever. And one day she even, I was sitting in the kitchen doing my laundry, and she came out the kitchen with a knife in the middle of the night, and I had done nothing to her, I don't do anything to anybody, but it was so uncalled for, and you could see on the video where she was telling me and confessing that she was doing witchcraft, and she called herself. She said that she do voodoo on you and things like that. And I was told that there were other women in the program that didn't even pay their rent there, that they left out of there, and a lot of women had, they were put into crisis and into psych wards from there because of the witchcraft and the abuse and the things that they took them through there. And on one of the videos where they they had the audacity to well, never mind. I already put that video out, but so you can view those. And all my videos, please make them go viral, because it's just such an injustice to me, And so I was told, by them down at the fellowship program that that I had to leave the house. They took sides with Leslie and Quenisha there, and said that I had to leave the house and that I had to go into ALF, which is crazy. What do I need? First of all, I don't need a assisted living program for anybody, and the housing that I was in wasn't an ALF with Leslie and Quenisha. It was an ILF, which is an independent housing program. An assisted housing program is for people that are really disabled or whatnot. And so then that's when she forced me, Alex, the lady that is my caseworker, Alexandria, she forced me to go into a house with Haitians. And I asked her before I got into the housing, was it a housing with Haitians? I said, I do not want to be in a housing with Haitians. I don't want to be in a house with Africans or nothing like that. I'm a Christian woman, and things like that. And I just, but kind of found out she lied to me and told me that they weren't Haitian. When I got in the house and, got out moved in, I found out that they were Haitians, and the house was ran by Haitians. And so then she came over to the house and told me that I had to leave the house, and that they were going to put me in state hospital because, apparently, and I didn't know what was going on. She was accusing me of having an altercation with the lady, which we had not had one argument there. So she told me that I had to leave the house, or they were going to put me in state hospital. Well Path, they call it, and South Evaluation Center, but it's a state hospital. They unlawfully had me in there once before, and I was so upset because it was it was just so sad, and so for them to even, but I it's just such an injustice, a lion's war. So, and, they, they also had me in another house, group home, where the ladies just put me out for no reason. It was just crazy. And, when I told them that I had to, basically, get my own place, there was like an argument that she tried to start with me and tell me that I had to be in an ALF. And I said, I've been taking care of myself all of my life, living on my own all of my life. I do not need that, so, and then, basically, it's just really sad, So, they took me through all of this and then told me that I had to, that they were going to find me another ALF. And, and I said, well, that's illegal. It's illegal for you to force me to go into ALF, and so finally she told me, well, yeah, you can go ahead on and find your own apartment, whatever. And I know legally, if anybody can live in their own apartment, I didn't. These are criminal programs, and I've never committed a crime a day in my life. The world knows that, and they also know that. And So, you know, they on this injustice, I just, it's a lion's war. It's a lion's war, and it's uncaused for. It just made no sense whatsoever for them to take me through all of that. In one of the housing programs, I was in the one with Leslie and Quenisha. There was a Publix right up the street, around the corner, and the Lord let me know that there was a policeman at the grocery store waiting for me to come to the grocery store so that he can give me an unlawful arrest. I mean, who arrests people, just for just, living an everyday life, it's just an injustice and it's uncalled for. And I said, Lord, why does he want to do that? And he said, because you are ladylike and innocent, and a Christian. And so, it's just really sad. They had me on they have me on psych meds, and they told me that and the psych meds that they've had me on is they've had me on Zyprexa previous once before. They have me on paliperidone. Paliperidone. It's spelled Paliperidone. They also have me on escitalopram. 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 And benzotrofine. And that's BENZTROPINE. And, my doctors, basically, or with this program, that's put me on this meds. And I was told by Yelly that I could go to jail if I did not take my meds. And I thought, how ridiculous, they told me that in DFAC too at Jackson Hospital that I could go to jail if I don't take these meds. And and I'm just like, what about my rights? Because I have a right to refuse treatment. I have a right, even them forcing me to go to Jackson Hospital. I had a right to refuse treatment and not be in a psych ward. It's just, it was just a violation of my rights, and I'm just like I'm talking to you and how you see me now, that's how I was then, and that's how, I've always been. So, I don't really, understand, what the beef really is with somebody that is as innocent as I am, just because I'm saved, just because I'm a Christian, and just because I'm a lady, like, you want to put me in jail and put me with criminals. It's ridiculous, and, also, at the Walmart, across the street, they, the Lord let me know that there was a policeman there that wants to arrest me for no reason at all, and it's just sick, it's just sick, and it's an injustice to me, it's an injustice to our justice system, and, I have shoulder pain often, it was after the unlawful arrest that they had given me in South Beach, where they basically manhandled me and hung me in the air, by my arms, and things like that, and so it's just really it's terrible, They also had a flunky doctor, that came over to me once and told me the same thing, that they said that, about the meds, come on, it's just it's against the law, it's an unlawful arrest, they first told me that that I could get 5 years for the arrest in 2017 at South Beach, Florida, that I can get 5 years for that. Now, they had some the lady come over and tell me that I could get 15 years because I have 2 counts of this, which is a lie. I do not have 2 counts of this. It was basically them that gave me the unlawful arrest, arrested me for no reason at all. And I have never hit a police officer. I have never, ever did a police officer any harm, but, I was the one that was manhandled and that was done harm, and so and all of this in the midst of me still living for Christ, and I told them, you guys know that I am never ever going to commit a crime, and I had told Catherine down at the Fellowship House program, I said, it's sad for me to go through this because, I'm innocent, and then the other thing is I'm a Christian, and, and she said, well, the judge does not see it that way. Even Stevie Wonder, can see that any retarded judge could see, any retarded judge can see it, that I'm innocent and that, the judge know that unlawful arrest is a crime, and so, and they know that it's a crime against me, and so, the judge won't see it that way. That's ridiculous. Like I said, any retarded judge could see that. Stevie Wonder could see that.